a lifelong journey. We are thing one and thing two, not a DC attorney.
We walk with you in wind in hand, doing our job as God does command.
We are here for you, all ages and stages, through the good times and bad and the turning of life's pages.
Walk with us as we walk with you, growing closer to God and Jesus too.
I'm Patty Ames, known as Thing One, walking with our children as the journey's just begun. I oversee childcare and Sunday school, and I lead story time, which is really cool. I help first and second grade families learn about communion. We talk about the Eucharist as God's family reunion. Third graders get a Bible, their holy book, to explore the stories of God's people and to take a look at where they fit in and what's their yoke. We have Legos for Lent, it's story and play. We learn about God in the most creative way. We have worship for children on Ash Wednesday, Maundy Thursday, Good Friday too. We journey through Lent together. What about you? I work with baptism families ready to get their children wet and celebrate being part of God's family. You bet. Children are some of the best theologians I know. Just listen to them and they will show that all kids here have a part and they listen to God with their heart. Now I get to work with the new thing too, leading Gap Kids, fellowship and service. Woohoo! So welcome, Catherine. Make her feel at home. And as for me, peace out and shalom.
Yes, here I am, Catherine, your thing too, working with the youth, making it fresh and new. 6th through 12th grade is what I cover. We will journey together, but I will not hover. The right 13 classes are under control. We will question, doubt, affirm, and learn in my supporting role. The right 13 liturgy is the church at its best, affirming young people on their spiritual quest. J2A is also part of my work. Talking and listening to youth, I will not shirk. We are going on a journey to the city that doesn't sleep. Many pilgrimage to God to find God on the surface and in the deep. Later in the year, a big pilgrimage we will do. Where we are going, who knows, maybe Timbuktu. The youth work hard to raise money for their trips. Shortbread, chili, greens, and poinsettias, and will also accept tips. There will be a pilgrimage to learn about civil rights. It is important to focus on social justice plights. There is also a group of youth called GAP. They are great kids who always keep coming back. They talk and learn, serve and grow. I am here to nurture the seeds we sow. Our youth love to serve. They go on SCAP. Working on homes in need is a feather in their cap. It's the people in West Virginia who are their hosts, and their stories touch these kids the most. The youth serve in church and also go afar, and God wants them here wherever they are. So I will walk with them through thick and thin, and be here for the youth with my main burden. Because that's what we do. It's our call. We walk with God's children, one and all.
And without the costumes, but with the same spirit and energy. Adults, I want to commend to you. We're trying some different things this year, or retrying best practices that we know make life better, because it makes us closer to God and one another. So in the next couple weeks, Sunday mornings are going to start looking a little differently. There used to be just the forum. And so next week is our first spiritual forum about the power of prayer. And that's a kickoff to our Practice Prayer with Christ series that's going to be every Sunday morning. So instead of just offering an opportunity to contemplate intellectually about faith, we're going to start providing opportunities to actually do some practicing. Let's use some of those spiritual muscles that we have. So practice prayer with Christ, that will start October 7th. And so that will go on for the rest of the year. So if you come Sunday morning and you are feeling like, I want to know more about praying and I want to do prayer, well, there's space for that. And then the week after that, we're going to start rolling out Practice Bible with Christ. So many people here come and listen to sermons, or they have questions about scripture, or they want to go deeper. Maybe you don't live with someone, so you can't talk about the scripture or the sermon with anyone when you get home. Well, you can do that here at St. Columba's. So we're going to start doing Bible studies on Sunday morning about the scripture of the day, so you can go deeper. So forums are still great, and we want them to be even stronger, and we're regrouping to think about that. But I also want to invite you to think about Sunday morning this place as your laboratory, a spiritual laboratory where you can use some of those muscles. Our circles, we're kicking them off, and we're not giving them up. We changed the name, obviously, from Circles of 8 to Circles of 7, 8, 9, and then we realized people were just saying circles, so let's just call them circles. But we have different opportunities. Some of them are affinity stages of life. So if you're a parent of an adolescent and you have those kind of concerns that come with parenting teenagers, there's a group for you. An LGBT circle, that ministry is thriving, and we love that. We love those people. So there's a circle for that. There's one other, an elder circle. So last year, the bishop was here and talked about the spiritual terrain of elderhood as a place to mine great depths. So with Deacon David Griswold, gather around scripture and start doing those mining. What does it mean? You have this last quarter of life. What is God talking to me? What is God inviting me to do? Those are the kinds of questions. So rather than keeping things far away, we're going to invite you this year, time and again, to get close to God. God is calling you. God is reaching out to you. God is saying, I want to know you better. I want you to know me better. And so adult formation, we're going to provide opportunities and keep providing them for you to use those muscles. And I'm just going to say one word about Wednesday nights. So Wednesday nights start again this Wednesday. And before classes start at 7 o'clock, we got a right brain option, a soul collage. Did you know you could be a trained facilitator in soul collage? I know. So we got a facilitator coming. And so if you want an opportunity to be artistic or connect with your spirit in a different way, then come to soul collage. And then a lot of you are left brain functioning folks. And so we have a left brain option. And we're going to explore the really tough questions of, are there safe spaces for Black men in America? And we're going to discuss that question. But before all that, at 7 o'clock, we're going to gather. Now, you guys all have busy days. And so the gathering will start at 6:30. And we're going to have some refreshments, or we're going to have some snack, and we're going to exhale together after the day we've had. And then we're going to have a short service of evening prayer, where we gather and collect all our thoughts, we throw them up together. And then we're going to engage in our Wednesday night class. And we're just going to keep going at practicing life with Christ, at being God's community together. And so I invite you and I ask you to consider these options. Thanks.
I'd like to ask our wardens, Elizabeth Taylor and Steve Smith, to say a few words, or whatever, however many words you want to say.
A few, I promise. So in July, you received a letter from Steve and Ledley and me about the budget that the vestry passed. Some of you probably read it, some of you didn't read it. It's really important, so I'm here to say it again. And what I want to say to you is that the vestry struggled with passing the budget for fiscal year 2019, which, it's complicated, as you know. We pledge on a calendar year, we budget on a fiscal year, but in any event, we had to pass a budget in July, and we did that. And we did it by making the leap of faith, because the only way for us to pass a budget that didn't involve cutting staff was to make that leap of faith. And we did that because there's so much great activity going on here. There's so much life. We are absolutely headed in the right direction, and there's nothing that we want to stop right now. This is just not the right time to cut back. And so we are leaning into an ambitious budget. But you need to know that. We want to make sure that we share with you all of the information that you want and need to understand the church's finances and the decisions that are being made by the leadership of the church, why we made those decisions, and what that's going to take from all of us. So a couple of things that I want to tell you. One is that we got responses to that letter that ranged from great letter, go for it, I'm behind you, to how can this possibly be a responsible decision for the vestry to make? So if you want to know more, come next Sunday at 12:30, so after the 11:15 service. We're going to be here. We will spread out all of the church's finances, and you can ask whatever questions you want to ask about the church's finances and the budget and the decisions that we are making. Steve's going to follow me talking about the audit. You can also come with your questions about the audit. And we're going to do that as many times as we need to do it, so that everybody in the church has an opportunity to get the information that you want and that you need. So we're going to start with next Sunday, then we're going to meet again on October the 28th. And if we decide that it makes sense to repeat these meetings in January, February, March, we'll do that. What's important for you to know right now is that the budget assumes an increase in pledges for calendar year 2019 that is a significant increase. So that is the pledging that's about to start happening this fall for next calendar year. We are assuming over a 17% increase in pledges for 2019 over actual pledges for 2018. We know that that is a significant increase. We also know that we can do it. And so that's my message to you. We can do this. There is just so much life, so much energy here. 2018 was a little bit of a blip. We had a steady increase in the number of pledges and the amount of pledges over the years 2013 going up to 2018. We don't really understand what happened in 2018, but we're going to treat that as a blip and assume that we're going to pick back up on the steady increase. There are about 570 pledging households last year in the pledging for 2018. There are a lot more active households in the parish than that. So what it's going to take for us to get where we need to get is that those of us who have the capacity to increase our pledges should be very thoughtful about increasing. And those of us who are actively working on all kinds of things, from making sandwiches to spreading the word to reaching out to each other, we also need to pledge. So it's really important for us to increase both the number of pledging households and the amount, to the extent that you can do that. The vestry has stepped up and is 100% committed, and the vestry has already pledged an amount for 2019 that's a significant increase over the vestry pledge for 2018. So we're trying to model good behavior, but we're all in this together. So my two messages are, remember, if you have questions, come ask them next Sunday, October 28th, and any other time that you want to reach out to me or Steve or another member of the vestry. And the second message is, we can do this. And if we will do this, and we're going to do it together.
Steve Smith, Junior Ward, and just wanted to share a couple of items with you regarding financial reporting and audit, which I know are probably the two most exciting topics on this morning's agenda. But going back to 2016, we brought in an external accounting firm, Tate Tryon, to look at our practices with respect to financial reporting, our staffing, our systems, our processes, to just try to help us make sure that we're doing the right things, that we have the right mechanical process in place. And we realized from that assessment we needed to make some changes with respect to system and process. And so we replaced our financial system, which was an outdated legacy piece of technology, with a new cloud-based accounting system that has made a significant impact on our ability to close the books in a timely way, to provide financial reports with the best review and staff. The second thing is that we looked at the configuration of the staff. As Leslie mentioned, we knew that we needed more senior leadership focus on the finance function, and that led to the creation of the Director of Finance and Administration role, and to Karen's hiring, and we're looking forward to her joining the staff. So those are two major outcomes from that work. All of this really initiated because we've had a backlog of audits, which I've been talking about since I was treasurer, and I thought I'd actually have a last conversation with you about my time over the role of treasurer. But I wanted to just describe briefly, we have audits, a backlog of audits that dates back to 2012. And so we've been working to complete those audits diligently, but the challenge is when you have a backlog and you have a bunch of day-to-day work that needs to be done, and you have outdated systems, and you have some complex processes, and you don't have the senior leadership focus that you fully need in terms of the expertise at the senior leadership table on accounting, then it creates a very difficult set of circumstances. And so we've worked to remedy those piece by piece. We now recognize that there was a gap just because we didn't have enough staff bandwidth to both address this backlog and do the day-to-day accounting work. We brought in an accounting firm called Chase & Company that's been doing that audit prep. They have finished the audit prep for 2012 and 2013, and our audit firm, Walker & Company, has nearly completed the audit for 2012. So that's progress, but it's slower progress than we would like. And so Chase actually came to us and said that having completed the work on the prep for 2012 and 2013, and looking ahead to what it would take to do exactly what they've been doing for 2014, 15, 16, and 17, that this would be a lengthy and expensive process, and they actually came to us and recommended a change. They recommended a simplified process for the years 2013 through 17. They came to the Finance and Property Committee, the Finance and Property Committee came to the vestry, and we endorsed that recommendation, which was to look at the most material aspects of our finances with respect to the accounts that have the greatest impact on our overall performance pledge, capital campaign, and to provide assurances that all of those accounts tie back, and to put us in a position now that we're on this new accounting system for 2018 to do our next full audit for 2018. So we'll have a full audit for 2012, we'll have a review using simplified processes or good practices for 2013 through 17, and we will have a full audit for 2018. And that just allows us, we believe, to be good stewards of the resources of the parish. We were looking at a cost of over $100,000 to complete the audits for those years without making this change. And we felt like that was just not where we wanted those resources to be spent. So with that, as Elizabeth said, we'll talk in as much detail as you're interested next week and take questions next week on both this and anything else with respect to financial reporting and audits in the parish. But I wanted to just thank you and make sure we shared that update with you.
I'm going to ask members of our stewardship team to say a few words. As I do that, that's Joy Bates Boyle and Chris Luckett are this year's co-chair, and now supported by Bronwyn Roy. But I also see that we began the meeting by introducing members of the staff, and a couple couldn't be here right at the beginning. So I want to say thank you. Larry, would you please stand up? And if there are others who I didn't get to introduce, this is Larry Shelley. Larry is the director of our water ministry, so thank you, Larry, for being here today. Which one of you is that?
Me. Sorry.
Take a line.
All right. Hi, I'm Bronwyn
development here. I've actually been a member here for about 10 years. I was introduced to the church a few years before that through rebuilding together. And it was an amazing experience. We were set out to renovate a home of a grandmother who had 5 grandchildren that she was raising. And she was at risk of losing those grandchildren because of the state of her home. And so we went in and we got started. And what we thought was going to be a 2-week project ended up being a couple months. And it didn't matter because we were so committed to sharing God's love. There was no one there complaining. We just got it done. So I want to take a moment to read the mission statement at St. Columba's. St. Columba's is a welcoming Christian community that seeks to be open in spirit, deep in faith, rich in worship, active in service. Columbans take this very seriously. There is so much passion, talent, energy to be God's hands, serve our neighbor, and nourish our souls. This is a place where if you raise your hand, you're called on. If you have an idea, let's hear it. If you have a question, well, we may not have the answer, but we'll walk with you on your journey as you seek to discover the answers. This is a place where we take care of one another. Our neighbors, we take care of those with views that differ from our own, and we take care of our planet, because we are Christian stewards. As stewards, our favorite part is giving of our time and talent. Oh yes, we love that bit. At St. Columba's, we own that bit. But the part that makes us a little uncomfortable is the treasure bit. But what a difference the treasure bit makes. Our rich worship crafted by our dedicated clergy, the thoughtful, exciting adult formation opportunities, the glorious music that inspires us all to celebrate the wonders of God, the outreach opportunities, Bishop Walker School, water ministry, Great Patrol, so many to name. It's all possible because Columbans said, yes, I want to be a part of this. Columbans said, I want to invest in the future of our mission. Columbans pledged their treasure when it was easy, when it was hard, so we could fulfill our mission. At St. Columba's, we welcome everybody. Come as you are. Shirt and shoes if you have them. But if you choose to take the next step and to be a part of our mission, to strengthen your relationship with God and have the chance to change your own life and others, the chance to leave a lasting legacy, then we invite you to join us. You can start by pledging. If you're already pledging, see if you can increase by 1% or 2%. It really does make a difference. Stewardship is a year-round, everyday practice. There is no day off. But you can start by investing and committing to take the next step. We clearly have some amazing things on the horizon. This is the place to be. I'm going to introduce you to our annual campaign co-chairs, Joy Bates-Boyle and Chris Luckett. They are each remarkable people with unique talents, but what is most remarkable is their steadfast commitment to forming a stronger relationship with God through stewardship and offering all of us the same chance to do the same. Join Chris.
So not only do I want to hire Ron to be my PR person, I want to say something about her really quickly. I've been involved with the annual pledge campaign for the last few years. And one thing that I realize is that the most recent past co-chairs of the campaign are probably very envious of the position that Joy and I find ourselves in this year, having had her support throughout the work of this campaign. The energy and the experience that she has brought to her role have been invaluable to Joy and me, and has made for much lighter lifting on our parts. So, Ron, I want to say thank you. We heard from Elizabeth about the ambition ambitious budget that the vestry passed over the course of this summer. And as she mentioned, we have a corresponding ambitious annual pledge campaign goal this year as well. In the next week or so, you're going to be receiving in your mailbox the annual brochure and pledge card that you've received in years past if you've been a pledging member of the church, even if you haven't. What I want to ask each of you to do is to take a few moments this year before you make your pledge, to consider what it means to be a part of all the good work that goes on here at St. Columba, the work that Patty and Catherine have planned for the coming year, the work that Amy has undertaken, the work that Bronwyn is doing. And think about what it means to you to be a part of that work, and to please make your pledge accordingly. My wife Melissa and I came to St. Columba about 10 years ago, and we were thrilled to find a place where we could introduce our young daughter to the church, where we could worship with her. And very shortly after we came, we realized that we wanted St. Columba to be a place that was more than just somewhere where we attended services. And we wanted to be part of the work and the life of this parish, and we made our first pledge. In the years that have gone by since, as we have increased our pledge, that pledge has become something different for us. It's an act of faith, and it's also more than a measure of what we give to the church. It is a measure of what we receive from the church and what we receive here at St. Columba. This is no longer just a place where we attend service. It's a place where we come to worship, to teach, to learn ourselves. It's a place where we come to celebrate. It's a place where we come to mourn after the loss of a loved one. And my hope is that, again, as each of you consider your pledge for this year, you take stock of what you receive from St. Columba. For those of you who have been participating but haven't made a pledge this year, I invite you to make a pledge. And for those of you who are pledging and are able, please increase your pledge. Thank you.
Good morning. Although I pledged for many years, it wasn't until this year that I started looking at stewardship as a chance to review my relationship with stuff. And the things that I have, the things that I think I earned, turns out I didn't. Maybe I worked hard, but it was God that made that possible for me and made all the blessings in my life possible. And so I'm seeing stewardship and pledging in a whole new way, and for that I'm incredibly grateful. And as part of the campaign, we are trying to bring stewardship to you in a couple of new ways. The theme of our campaign, the theme of our program here, Amy talked about, we're talking about practice life with Christ. And we're going to do practice Bible with Christ and practice prayer with Christ. And so we've tied the campaign, the pledge campaign theme to that. And it is, how do you give thanks with Christ? And we decided to ask the question rather than making a statement, to get people thinking in new ways. When I say, how do you immediately start thinking about, well, yeah, what is my relationship with my stuff and with God and with this amazing church? So we've done a few things this year to make the pledge campaign more visible. You already see some of these bright blue ribbons on our name buttons. And I'm hoping that once you pledge, you'll attach your ribbon to your button and wear it with pride throughout the campaign. And by this time next week or in a couple of weeks, I'll look out and see the blue ribbons. It's really fun to sit down with your kids, your friends, your loved ones, and go through the Mad Libs and get a little chuckle and think about pledging in a holy way. And to underscore how we need every household to make a pledge, no matter how small or how large. And to show in one place all the great faces of St. Columba's. You've been hearing about it for the last couple of weeks, and now we have our banner, our many great faces of St. Columba's who are joining us in giving thanks with Christ. the picture out in the common all throughout the campaign. And hopefully this underscores that, as so many have said this morning, we're at baptism and beyond, we're all in this together, and together we can do it.
So, I'm aware that we're going to begin our next worship service in just a few minutes. Just to be clear, it wasn't my intention or design of this gathering to provide a comprehensive overview of all the ministries. Each time when we gather in this way, it's important just to lift up one or two or three ministries. So today in particular, we heard about formation, and I do want to flag something that I think we might have said, which is that this is the first time in a long time that we have had a full-time member of the staff dedicated to youth ministry. And that has been, ever since I first got here, I've heard that articulated time and time and time again, how essential that is to be providing that support for our youth. So Catherine's role is wonderful in that. Another is that she couldn't be here today, but Julia Berry is the head of the St. Columba's Nursery School. And Julia and Amy Molina Moore are working very closely now to find ways to create bridges and connections so that those of you who are part of the nursery school community and those of you who are part of the church worshiping community can find opportunities to cross over as the Spirit moves you. You also may be aware that last winter, I, the vestry, tasked a small group of you called the Outreach Vision Task Force to go off and pray and look anew at the neighborhood near and the neighborhood far, and to discern how it is that God may be calling us to engage in issues of service and outreach and justice. And that group has been doing their work diligently, and we're going to be hearing from them later this fall and into the winter, so stay tuned for that. Also, the vestry and I have made a determination that I've now been here for 3 years, and this is a good time for us to reflect and look at the overall vision and strategic planning of the parish. You heard Bronwyn share the current mission statement. Those kinds of statements can be an opportunity to galvanize the community and clarify what it is that God's calling us to. And we've got a group just coming together to lead us in that. And 3 years I've been here, so St. Columba's, as we saw, our great Columba oak bear witness to the oak tree preceded us here, and many of you have been here for many years. Those of us who came before us dug the deep wells of life from which we have been drinking and availing and nourishing ourselves, and now it's our turn. So that it's our turn to do what we're able to dig deep wells so that our children and their children may also be nourished by the life of the Spirit in this community and in this place. And I thank you for all the extraordinary ways that you give of yourself, of your time, of your passion, of your prayers, your presence. And it's just an exciting time, as Elizabeth said, for us to be St. Columba's and on the move and ready to serve and go. So let's do it.